Hello all you beautiful people out there. I am Mrs. Realistic. Welcome back to the channel. I have been bugged and bugged and bugged to check out Dax's To Be a Man mega remix. Now my husband and I were going to do this one together because my original one I did was my reaction to his reaction. He beat me to it. So I don't know if he has it up on his channel yet, but he told me I have to watch it. I've also been told by all of you that I have to watch it. So I have been excited to check it out. I haven't been able to get to it yet. So here we are. Let's just get into it.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Too much pressure on my shoulders, it gets tough to be the person bringing in the bread and be the lover that you need for self-care. Yeah, I had to let go. I'd be lying if I told you that it never takes a toll on my mind. I need someone to save me, but I have to be the one who's saving you. When you're exhausted, I'm the shoulder where you mend. Gotta stay strong, what can I do when
I can't hide myself?
Oh, that's beautiful. So it's all listed up here who is singing in this, but I don't know who's who. This dude's got a beautiful voice, and how perfectly put. He said, you know, he needs somebody to save him, but he's supposed to be the one who's saving everybody else. And like, who do men turn to? And I've heard from so many of you in the comments on my last video that most men don't feel like they can turn to their wives and, you know, talk about what's bothering them, or some guys even say, you know, you shouldn't put that on your wife. So depending on what kind of relationship you have, I don't know. I still think it's super important for a man, a husband, to be able to share these things with his wife. But what about those single guys out there who maybe don't have super close friends, or they just don't have anybody to talk to? As one guy put it so well, that iron sharpens iron. And I think that men need to have other men to lean on, even if that's just talking to your dad or, you know, your brother or whatever. Women get to confide in their husbands, and I think a lot of men don't feel like they can confide in their wives, and that's sad.
Gotta stay strong, what can I do when
I can't hide myself? I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
I know a lot of men don't feel the same, but I don't feel ashamed letting the water fall when my heart's ablaze. Daddy taught me that was how to put a fire out. So when I'm hurting, I don't mind to cry my eyes out. I only have a few examples of a man in my life, and only one who made perfection lifelike. So I try to remember 2 words when I don't know what to do. Don't forget Jesus wept, and brother, so can you.
I can't hide myself.
That's beautiful. These are other men saying it's okay to cry. And even if those men out there are crying alone in their garage, it makes me so sad that guys have to do that. I think this is something that as women, so many times it's not brought to attention. And there are so many shitty women out there who will try and hold it against you. So kick them to the curb and find a good woman, because behind every good man is a good woman, and vice versa. I don't know why that one got me so bad. I love how he's made this an entire theme for other people to come and put their input into. It's really beautiful. I'm already a blubbering mess, as you can see.
So can you.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand.
Beautiful voice.
I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
They say it's all in my head, and I guess that makes sense, cause everything I feel, I keep in, cause it's different for men. We talk about our feelings, we're called oversensitive. We're asked to strike a balance, it doesn't exist. So we bottle everything up in our minds. We grow cold, dark and numb as we slowly die. You ever wonder why it's mostly men who commit suicide? We figure why now we're already there.
I can't hide myself.
Wow, man. These guys are great. I really want to be able to hear what this guy said. It's very heartbreaking.
We talk about our feelings, we're called oversensitive.
See, we talk about our feelings, we're called oversensitive. Why is it not okay for men to have feelings? My husband has huge feelings. And, you know, we'll watch stuff together and he'll cry seeing, you know, a video of like a little girl being given away by her father at her wedding. But at the same time, you know, sometimes men have to be stoic, but they need to be able to know it's okay to have feelings and to get those feelings out. Is it only women who are saying that they're oversensitive, or are there other guys out there who are telling them to suck it up? Because that would be ridiculous.
For men, we talk about our feelings, we're called oversensitive. We're asked to strike a balance, it doesn't exist. So we bottle everything up in our minds. We grow cold, dark and numb as we slowly die. Yeah.
Cold, dark, and numb as we slowly die. That's absolutely heartbreaking. And this is something that's probably been taught to them by fathers who had maybe no real emotional connection with their children. And I think that's a huge problem, is that children grow up thinking that my dad told me I'm not allowed to cry. My dad told me I'm not allowed to be sad. It's ingrained in there. But then Dax puts out these songs like this. Let's break that cycle.
Up in our minds, we grow cold, dark and numb as we slowly die. You ever wonder why it's mostly men who commit suicide? We figure why now we're already there.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
You picked me up when I was broken.
Oh, a woman.
You pieced together words that were not spoken. You found a way to see me as I was, even when the world doesn't show you the same love. You're expecting to do everything on your own, providing and hide all the feelings that you hold, but your heart is deserving of showing. I see you for who you are. I hope that you know it.
I can't hide myself.
And that's exactly right. You got to have your man's back. Tell him you appreciate what he does. Tell him, I can tell you're stressed. As I said in my last video, there has to be a communication there. And I think otherwise, resentment just builds. I'm guilty of it. My husband's guilty of it. I think most people are guilty of it. But to be able to say, like, I see you. You're always there to, you know, provide and protect and care for me and the children. And there are weights on men's shoulders that women can't ever know. It's just like we can't know what it's like to be a man. They can't know what it's like to be a woman. And so unless we can be okay with sharing our feelings, there's not going to be much understanding, and it'll just crumble.
I see you for who you are. I hope that you know it.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can.
Oh, she said, I do my best to understand. I can't tell you how many hate comments I got on my last video saying that you'll never understand, and you're clearly a woman who has to get the last word, or like, why don't you go out and get a job if your husband's struggling so bad? And these are comments that come in from people who don't know anything about us, don't know anything about our life or the choices that we made or any of that. No, I will never understand 100%. Absolutely. But we can always try to understand the other person's point of view. And I think that's enough, because it doesn't matter even if it's another woman. I'll never understand her life's choices and path that she's taken. And I'll probably never be able to truly understand the things my husband goes through. But thankfully, we have the kind of relationship where he's a talker 100%, and he likes to deal with stuff, and he likes to get it out on the table, and he doesn't have a problem sharing things with me. And a lot of people have said, oh, well, I guarantee there's stuff he doesn't tell you. And I'm like, you don't really know our relationship. He's an open book. So I don't ever feel like he's hiding stuff from me. And, you know, but maybe he is. Maybe there are things that he doesn't ever tell me. As far as our relationship, I think people would be surprised. We're very open and honest about everything. And this song has brought to light a lot of things that have actually helped us in our relationship. And I think that's one of the wonderful things that has come out of this great song that he's written.
I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
I know we all got decisions to make, but it seems that my decisions cause division. I hate this pride. I break inside, but I cannot cry, cause all I wanna do is provide. I was made for this, I'm a father of 7. My oldest is 20, my youngest 11, and they all gotta eat. So I bury my feelings and stay on my feet like they told me. Gotta be grown, they told me. You're on your own, they told me, but we're not alone, they showed me.
I can't hide.
That, sir, is a good man. 7 kids. Wow, dude, these guys are hitting me in the feels big time. What a stand-up guy. His children are lucky to have a father like that. And so, you know, he's like, as hard as it is for me to just suck it up and move on, I got to do it for my family. I got children that have to eat. Granted, there are many families who, you know, are dual income, but just through my own lens of being a stay-at-home mom and having a husband who is the breadwinner, we also run our own business together, and I help him with that. I'm very lucky to be able to do that. I'm very blessed. And this was a decision we made before we ever even had children, before we were ever even married, that I would stay at home, we would homeschool, and that is what he wanted. He didn't want our children being raised by strangers. Thankfully, we came together completely spot on these decisions for our family. This was an important choice for us. I think a lot of people looked at our situation from their own filter, from their own lens of issues that have happened to them in the past, and thinking, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Well, this was the choice that we made, and this is a decision my husband also made, that he didn't want me to go out and work outside the home. I have my responsibilities. He has his responsibilities. We're the quote-unquote traditional family, and that was the choice that we made, and that was always super important to us. And he's never said to me, we're in trouble, you need to go out and work. So while that might work for some people, that's not how we do it.
You're on your own, they told me, but we're not alone, they showed me.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain.
Great voice.
What it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide.
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, patiently waited for God to show me signs I need. I'm not the man for the job, all the things I can't be. Put all my feelings aside. I think that I'll be better off when I'm not alive. Fought through depression for years and I try to hide it. Almost put pressure and pulled it, but I decided to give it all that I can. But this what it's like to be a man.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road.
So that guy, I've seen him before, but I've only seen him rap. Fix? Is that Fix? But, you know, he brings a really good point up, is that, like, he almost ended it. And he made the choice to, you know, go on. And there's a huge stigma, I think, about therapy for men. Get help. If you need help, get help. Because there is absolutely nothing wrong with saying, I'm not doing well. I can't do this anymore. This is the reason that more men commit suicide than women, because there's that stigma that if you go and get help, you're weak. So just suck it up. And it's so wrong. Women are allowed to be weak, right? We need to be taken care of. We need to be coddled. And it's okay for us to reach out and get help. But then when a man wants to do that, then he's shamed for it. This is how this song is changing things. So get help, guys, if you really need it. There's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of.
What it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
As a man, if you show your emotions, they take it for weakness, ain't nothing new. Teaching my son to be mentally stronger, prepare for the battle, he ain't even two. Being a father is lit, but I gotta admit that sometimes I don't know what to do. Provide and protect was the name of the game I was playing for you, and you know that it's true. Unconditional love and reality, but you can't take a look from my view. A lot of my days were blue, but that dog in me, so I fought and you didn't have a clue. When I had it, we had it together, but now we divided, your colors are true. I shouldn't have to ask for no help if you knew I was struggling, I would've did it for you.
I can't hide myself.
Yeah, and it's okay to not know what to do. I think we're all kind of flying by the seat of our pants. And if your son's only 2, you got a ways to go. But, you know, the fact that he's aware enough to realize the things happening, I think, shows that he's going to be a good dad. Because those parents who fear that they're not going to be a good parent are probably the ones who are going to be the best parents, because they're more consciously aware of the choices that they're making. And so, you know, to raise a strong, healthy young son at the end of the day is the most important thing.
I have to ask for no help if you knew I was struggling, I would've did it for you.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
I'm sorry, I
another
never
lady.
knew all the things that you go through. I never meant to put your pain aside. Didn't mean to make you need to hide. Those demons in your head, they'll tell you you're less than. But I'm here to tell you that you're more than perfect. Don't let the voices make you think you're worthless, 'cause you're worth it. You got this.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road.
What a beautiful voice she has. I don't know who that is. But I think that that's the sentiment of a lot of women who have heard this song, you know, how, like, we didn't know. And it's taken this song to show all of those women out there that pain deep down inside that men have that they might not share with you. I love the fact that he's got 2 women in this, and they're singing sort of their side of it, the way they view it. It was a great choice by Dax.
Be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
It's just a lot I wanna say. To be a man requires you to hide the pain. You find yourself inside a hole you can't get out, even though you wanna shout. The pain is just unbearable. Oh no, I just wanna cry, be given a hug, and be told everything will be okay. Parang in the wamuna. It's what she gonna take. I have a family that depends on me. Oh,
I can't hide myself. I don't expect.
He just wants a hug. You know, it's like being a little kid and just wanting a hug from your parents and they're going to tell you everything's okay. I think we always need that throughout our entire life. We always need that. And to hear a man saying that, I think that in itself takes a lot of courage. They want to know everything's going to be okay because they're the ones telling their wives or their family members that, you know, everything's going to be okay, I got this. But who's telling them that everything's going to be okay?
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Look, as a man, they expect you to be strong and someone to lean on no matter what you're dealing with. I just lost a couple friends to drugs, and when I woke up in the morning, man, I really wasn't feeling it. But I gotta try to bottle the pain, but when they took my son away, I had to try to find a will to live. Put in 5 whole years at the job, then I got laid off, and the news had me feeling sick. I've been drowning in the deep end. Anybody wanna give me a reason? I don't even try to bother with a social life, cause I would rather be alone on the weekends, chilling with my demons. And I try to suppress the depression and need of a blessing, cause I'm really about to lose it all. Just remember that I try to be a man when you lose me, y'all, and I'm gone.
I can't hide myself.
Caveman. That's my hubby caveman. Well, that's not my hubby, but that's my husband's handle on here with a C. You know, this guy, he puts it so plainly that, you know, we deal with all this stuff, losing friends, working at a job for 5 years, getting laid off, and you're supposed to just keep on going, keep on trudging. And it's so unhealthy to like bottle everything up and live that way for your entire life, because eventually it's going to break through somehow. Something is going to break. You need to have an outlet to get those emotions out. So call your dad, call your brother, call your uncle, whoever it is, and, you know, have a heart-to-heart, because if you don't feel like you can talk to your wife about it or your girlfriend, there has to be some kind of outlet. There has to be a way to get that pain and that negativity out, or else it's going to just fester, and that's never good.
Just remember that I try to be a man when you lose me, y'all, and I'm gone.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that.
Well, I gotta say, I think this one might even be better than the first one. The video was great in the first one, and I really love the way that they pieced it together, but to have all of these different artists on here just made it even more special. And to hear from 2 women, their view on it. I'm sorry to those men out there who have a lonely road, who have nobody to talk to and have no way of letting it out, or feel like they just can't. So let's keep these things in mind the next time you're talking to your husband, or the next time you're talking to your dad. I am absolutely grateful for my dad and my stepdad. They both played significant, important roles in my life, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for them. I just think back to my childhood and all of the wonderful memories I have with my dad and my stepdad, and I'm very lucky in that aspect. Thank you again to Dax, my Canadian brother, for putting out yet another wonderful remix. Thank you all for joining me. Have a wonderful day. And as I always say, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.